ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो। भक्त्या विहीना अपराधलक्ष्यै छित्त्वास्य कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयी त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दे। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातरया जुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तर्वो विनेदु तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतु तवैवास्मि न युवानुतया इति विज्ञाय राधे तं नमामि। What he's telling?
Mohan, today the class in Italian, the date.
Oh, she's explaining them?
No, in cassette.
We'll record class.
First of all, my humble obeisances in the lotus feet of my spiritual Guru, Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupad, Srimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and my same humble obeisances in the lotus feet of my Shiksha Guru, Nitya Leela Pravishtam Vishnupad Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. I remember when he called me on the last date, he was going to join his Radha and Krishna service in Golok Vrindavan. And he told me, requested me to help the devotees to whom he has brought. He has bring so many devotees from Western and Eastern countries. And he wanted that I should especially help them. And in last day also he, that he requested me to give his samadhi. I did. So, you know that there is no difference between Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru. If they are both qualified, so I must obey my Guru order. So without any worldly benefit, I am traveling whole world in this old age for their mercy. I am very happy that I began my tour from Italy, very successful preaching, and then to Miami, America, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Brazil, and then Hawaii, and from there again to America, here and there, everywhere, main cities of America, and then to Germany, France, and that's to England, and very big too, of 4 months. Now it is going to be end. But I am very happy that I have inspired so many devotees and I have helped so many devotees. Those who connect themselves, how they can help others? Those who have fallen down, how they can help others? Those who have no faith in, a strong faith in name, in Krishna and Guru, they cannot help. Only false ego will be there. So we must know that what is really Bhakti. Who is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself? Who is the power of that Krishna? And what relation we have with conjugal Radha and Krishna? And what is then process to attain the service of Radha and Krishna, conjugal? This has been told several times in Vedas, Upanishads, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that Srimad Bhagavat is what? Authority. Only authority. For transcendental things, transcendental knowledge, transcendental bhakti, and anything. And Chaitanya Charitamrita has quoted all these things. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is also a very authentic proof they can see. So you should know that Krishna is Almighty. He is ocean of rasa. He is also Rashik, the tester of that rasa. Very powerful. He has some all opulence. And he is so merciful. Sometimes he comes to this world, descends to world to help devotee, to sprinkle his mercy that we have fallen from him, we have forgotten him. Now he comes to help us. Sometimes he sends so many incarnations like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Sharup Damodar, Raya Ramana, Narad Goswami, Sukadev Goswami to help us. So they are transcendental. They only descend to help us. And for this reason, Krishna has sent also. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. They were very merciful. That is why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur, he sent one of his arm to this country. He came with so many concessions, made so many concessions. Even you can chant very in a small quantity, or you will be revelated. So he tried his whole heart that he should inspire you all. I think that anyhow you have come to me here to listen only by his mercy, through his books, by his disciples. So we are all indebted to him. We cannot repay him. So now I am going to explain the process to be happy forever and to serve Radha Krishna conjugal in a very easy process. We should try to know. I think that it should be also translated to the persons who are not knowing English.
The translating
You are translating? Very good, very good. You should help them. I think all other knows English. You should know that Krishna is Supreme Personality. He has so many manifestations, like Ram, Nrsimha, Jagannath, Baladev, Narayan, but all are same. Even God is same. He is also manifestation, one of the manifestation. Also Allah, Khuda, all are manifestations. All are the name of God. But as they are manifestations, in manifestations some are so high class, some are so having less power. But they are same. Like moon, full moon, and gradually coming and going, reducing and increasing. But all are moon. But we are seeing from the angle of vision, and that is different. And that is why we see moon in different ways. But moon is one. Always full moon. Always. When covered, we see that coming down, and sometimes we see that increasing. So in this way, Krishna is one without second. So manifestation, but even all are Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Not Krishna, but not different from Krishna. Both things is there. Different and non-different. Like sun and his rays. Like fire and his heat. Different some and not different. Very wonderful thing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told us this. So, the easy process to be happy forever and to serve Krishna and Radhika conjugal in Srimad Bhagavatam, and everywhere it has been told. Especially Rupa Goswami, one of the associates, high class of associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told, Anya Vilashita Sunyam Gyan Karmadhyanapratam Anukullena Krishna Anusilanam Bhakti Ruttama. What is the translation? You should stand up and take any mic. And Rukam is not here perhaps. Rukam Prabhu has come here? Where? Anywhere. Taking rest perhaps. Let him. Very, he should be let. Oh, take.
Srila Rupa Goswami Pad in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has described what is transcendental. What is transcendental? Anyavilashita shunyam jnana kamadhyanabritam anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhakti uttama. Uttam bhakti, or transcendental devotional service, is the constant, uninterrupted cultivation of all endeavors of the body, of the mind, and of words, and also of transcendental loving sentiments, which is favorable to Krishna, being meant exclusively for his pleasure, which is completely devoid of all desires except for the desire to serve Krishna, and which is not covered by karma, reward-seeking activities, which is not covered by Gyan, the cultivation of knowledge with the intention of achieving impersonal liberation, and not covered by yoga, mystic practices, and also tyag, dry renunciation. This is called Uttama Bhakti, or transcendental devotional service.
Thank you. So we should know that whatever we do, we should do for the pleasure of Krishna. But this is not sufficient. It is not sufficient. There should be no worldly desire in that service. Totally no desire. If anyone taking initiation from any bona fide guru even, he chanting, remembering, reading books, all things. But he has any desire that I should be wealthy, I should have a very bona fide and very well qualified son, very beautiful, young wife, any desire for liberation, then whole bhakti will be ruined. Then it will be not pure bhakti. It will be bhakti, but not pure bhakti, uttama bhakti. And it will be called arop siddha bhakti, and sometimes sanga siddha. Mixed with karma, mixed with jnana, mixed with yoga, mixed with anything. So these are not actually pure bhakti. We know that 95% or more than that, actually they don't follow uttama bhakti or pure bhakti. Anyhow, they follow only arop siddha bhakti and sang siddha bhakti. What is arop siddha bhakti? If you are making any garden, if you are making gurukul, if you are making goshala, really these are not bhakti. But by doing so, the fruit should be given to Krishna. How? If there is a gurukul, from why would all the boys will be given impression for bhakti? But we see that very rare students, they have impression. Otherwise, all ruined. Character gone. Not obeying their father and mothers. Not humble, not honoring devotees. They become like demons. I know so many boys. Now they have become like desperate. If that impression would have come, very good. And for this, any high class of devotees or guru establishes this. They made it. There is no other process to make impression. By garden, we can take the fruits to deities, to devotees. If it is not given, then very bad. But where there is chanting, remembering only to please Krishna and for Krishna, then really it is bhakti. I know so many devotees always serving by these methods, making money for temples, so much, lakhs and lakhs, dollars and pounds they used to collect in 7 days, and they used to be. But what became of them? They left this Krishna consciousness. So, Bhaktivedanta Swami wanted that they should come and they should be high qualified devotees. Some became, some are devotees, but not all. So we should chant like this. What is Sangha Siddha? What is Sangha Siddha? You should define.
When someone is practicing pure devotional service, Swarup Siddha Bhakti, then quite naturally many concomitant qualities they manifest in his character. He becomes grave, silent, poetic, expert, a kind friend to all living entities, non-violent, and so it's described. These are the qualities of a Vaishnava. So someone may think that the Vaishnava has these qualities. So if I am cultivating and following these qualities, then I will be doing bhakti. But actually this itself is not bhakti. But these are considered to be the parivar or the family members which accompany devotional service. So the mistake is made sometimes that following these things, this is actually bhakti. But actually bhakti is hearing, chanting, remembering 9 types of bhakti or 64 types described by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or 3 types hearing, chanting and remembering, or out of all, the chanting is prominent. Taramadde Savashasta Nama Sankirtan. Nam Sankirtan is the best of all. So this is called Sangha Siddha Bhakti, following the qualities of a Vaishnava. But if these qualities themselves are not actually connected with pure devotional service, they become quite useless. Because even Mayavadis and atheists and others, they also cultivate these qualities, but to no avail.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Puri, he told to king, throw other devotees, not directly for any other devotee. That Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to do the festival of Gundicha Mandir. What is this? Every year, each year, nowadays, from first day, Pratipada. Jagannath wants to go from Dwarka to Vrindavan. Gundicha place is like Vrindavan. Krishna, as a tricky person, he declares that I am sick. I am not feeling well. So I shall go to Vrindavan.
For a change.
Oh, for a change. But his Lakshmi Devi, Bimla Devi, she ordered only for very few days. And he should return very soon. But he did not know that where he is going for change. So he ordered. So, first day before, one day before, where he will go in Vrindavan, the temple is called Gundicha Mandir temple. It is cleaned and washed because Jagannath they will see. So, Jagannath Dev or Krishna may sit on our hearts if it is so pure. any kind of desire is there, he will not be there. Whether you are chanting lakhs and lakhs name, 3 lakhs daily, he will not come. If any worldly desire. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went there one day before to Gundicha Mandir, and he began to clear, broom with his all associates, 1,000 and 1,000 associates, by doing kirtan and by broom. Only broom will not do. Never. Broom cannot touch our heart. Never. To show these things, he told that, oh, we should chant and remember doing kirtan and then broom. Then it will have some effect. Otherwise, no. If you are doing anything in your house, holder life, oh, you can broom. How? Govinda Damo Dharma Kareti, Govinda Damo Dharma Kareti, Govinda Damo Dharma Kareti, Govinda Damo Dharma Kareti. You can do any job, but chant this name by heart. Then your heart will be broomed. It will be pure and clear, neat and clean. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all associates began to chant and do kirtan with so many mridangs, and with khol and kartal and broom. He picked up some stones, big, at first, which were very visible and can be collected. They first collected all in the whole compound of that temple. Very big compound. More than 20 lakhs of devotees can be in that temple. Big temple. Everywhere. They broomed and cleaned. Next time again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was brooming, and he told and requested all, I want to see how much they have broomed, and they should bring in their clothes.
Dust.
Dust. Even very fine dust were taken, and then with water, everywhere, with thousands and thousands of, full of Indian
Clay pot.
They were bringing from what?
Indradumna.
And it was clean everywhere, up, down, here, there, everywhere. And then he took his Uttariya Vasan there, and he cleaned by very spots that were very rigid.
Stubborn.
Huh?
Stubborn.
He rubbed him. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it has been told. When he started from Jagannath temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, so many devotees assembled there, and then he gave them tilak, all with his own hand, and then garlanded them. No false ego. That I am Guru, or all should pay respect to me. How I will respect others? Actually, this person are not devotees pure. Guru is who? He can respect others. The symptom of Guru is Trinadapi Suni Chena Tavapapi Sahisununa Amanuna Mandena Kirtaniya Sada. He would be very humble. Even more than grosses, gross blades.
Blood of grass.
Oh, this will be very tolerant. More than trees. They may be dry, but they will never request water. If anyone is cutting the branches or tree, they will not tell that, oh, save me, don't cut me. They will never. And even you are doing and you are throwing a stones to mango, oh, they will give so sweet mango to you. Their bark, their seed, their fruits, their leaves, their juice, always for others, not for them. Krishna is telling we should be a devotee like trees. Don't not geo.
Don't live for yourself.
Your life is for others, not for yours. Especially for Krishna. And if you are living only for you, then you are more wretched than trees and creepers. And then what is he telling? Where he is telling? What is the essence of where he has told? Essence? Prabhupada বোধহয় এতে নাই. Here we should know what are the dust. इसमें
বড় জানো
তো দিতে পারো যদি নিকটে থাকে. You should know what is the dust that Mahaprabhu was collecting? Kutinati, Pratishtha, Love Puja and others. What is Kutinati? You should know. Kuti and Nati. What has been told that these are not favorable for Krishna Bhakti, that should be given up. Very boldly and strongly. The things, the persons, the association, any other thing which is not favorable to Bhakti, that should be rejected very strongly. Any wish, any desire, any fruit, anything which is not favorable to please Krishna or devotee and Guru, that should be totally rejected. If anyone criticizing a high class of devotees, oh, he should what? You should reject them. You can cut his arguments. And if you are like Hanuman, you can burn whole Lanka and cut their tongues also. And if you are not that, keeping your yes, and you should give up. And try to accept only the thing, the society, the association, which are very favorable to Bhakti. This is called association. Always you should try to do. So Mahaprabhu is rejecting. You should not go to yourself praise. Always try to honor others. Never you should have any wish to be honored by others, but always give honor. All devotees according to their
State.
ability.
Quality.
good qualities, like bhakti, a standard of bhakti. So if you want to know the degree of bhakti, or you will have to be madhyamadhikari at least. Then you can do. If you are thinking that being a kanishta adhikari, and you are thinking he is Mahabhagavat, then you are offending Mahabhagavatam. First you should know that he is Mahabhagavat or not. Then you can. Otherwise this is also a kind of
Offense.
insulting them. And if you are not actually honoring them, it is also a like offense. So, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was removing all these things. Also you can know that first and second sloka of Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita, also unwanted thing, that should be broomed. And if you are not brooming and not clearing them, then pure bhakti you cannot attain. You are not lakhs and lakhs verse. So try to follow all these things. What is first?
Vacho vegam, manasakroda vegam, jiva vegam, rapasta vegam, etana veganja visaheta dira, sarvamapinam.
You should explain the meaning by standing towards, facing towards.
Audience.
Not loudly.
This verse is the first verse in Srila Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamrita. That is one who can control the 6 pushings, beginning from Vacho Vegam. Vegam means pushing. Vacho means of the words. Vacho Vegam, Manasa, the pushings of the mind. Krodha Vegam, pushings of anger. Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam. Jiva Vegam, that means the tongue. The tongue wants to eat anything and everything. Jiva Vegam, Udarapasta Vegam, means the belly and the genitals. Vacho Vegam, Manasakroda Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udarapasta Vegam, Etana Vegam, Jovishaheta Dira. Such a person who can control these pushings, he is known as a Dira. He's not disturbed by material dictations. And this person, Sarvam Apimam, Prithiving Shashishat, the whole world should come under this person. He's automatically, by his very nature, the Jagat Guru, the Guru of the whole universe, and he's qualified to instruct the entire world.
এখানে সরস্বতী ঠাকুর টোল দিছে বাট গুন্ডিতে মার গন্ধ হচ্ছে
But you should know there are 6 kinds of urges. But the root is this tongue having no backbone. You know, no bone. But very all the not if even you cannot control, all 5 other backs will come and they will control you. And if you are controlling this, then everything right. It has 2 functions. But you know, if they are not controlled, this tongue is not controlled. You can tell any words to anyone. And then it will be very problem for you. And forever you will be ruined. You know Draupadi? She was queen of Pandavas. But he only told something which was right, but not for counsel. And she told, for Duryodhana, your father is blind, so you are also blind.
Like father, like son.
Like father, like son. And he was offended, And great war of Mahabharata was done for this. And thousands, millions of persons were killed in that Mahabharata. Ramayana also, the war of Ramayana, only for the turn of Sitaji, he chastises Lakshman sometime. And this meant war of Ramayana. And so many were killed. So you should try to control your tongue. Don't speak what is not good. And secondly, if you are not controlling bad or good, you are taking all things. All things. Meat, fish, drugs and everything. Then it also harm you. You cannot control then your mind. You cannot control your heart. Never you can control. So take only Mahaprasadam. And then everything will be controlled. And take always Hare Krishna and divine being. Then it will control that. It will not tell anything unwanted. So this should control. Then Atyahara Prayasasya Prajalpo Niyamakra. So Prabhupada has explained these unwanted things in the explaining you should read. And we should try to follow. Then we can clear our hearts. Main thing.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that even though one may become free from the desire for fruitive activity, sometimes the subtle desire for fruitive activity comes into being within the heart. One often thinks of conducting business to improve devotional activity. However, the contamination is so strong that it may later develop into misunderstanding, described as kutinati, fault-finding or duplicity, and pratistasha, the desire for name and fame and for high position, jiva hingsa, envy of other living entities, and nisidachara, accepting things forbidden in the Shastras, calm, desire for material gain, and puja, hankering for popularity. The word kutinati means duplicity. As an example, one may attempt to imitate Srila Haridas Thakur by living in a solitary place. One's real desire may be for fame and name.
Just one thing I'll tell you. I know some devotees, Westerns, they went to Puri. They could not go to take darshan of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in temple. But in Gopinath temple, in Haridas Thakur Samadhi, Bhajan, Siddha Bakul, they can go everywhere. So one devotee, anyhow, he get more than $1,000 to anyone who was there, Indians. And they told that you should give me the same mala which is kept here and Haridas Thakur was chanted in Mumbai. And he took $1,000 and he stole away and he gave to devotees. Then devotee thought that, oh, I will chant by this mala and I will be liberated and I will have. But he was offensive. So imitation only will not do. This thing. I know nowadays all wants to have big mala of 5 kilos, not less than. They cannot chant, but they collect. Here also, big tulsi and that Radhe Radhe, it is written on that here. Oh, this will not do. false ego can come. Try to chant and remember purely and associate with devotee. So he is telling.
One's real desire may be for name and fame. In other words, one thinks that fools will accept one to be as good as Haridas Thakur just because one lives in a holy place. These are all material desires. A neophyte devotee is certain to be attacked by other material desires as well, women and money. In this way, the heart will be again filled with dirty things and become harder and harder, like that of a materialist. Gradually, one desires to become a reputed devotee or an avatar incarnation.
What? What is the meaning?
Jivahimsa? Oh, they think that they've become God themselves.
Yes.
Avatar.
Manifestation. Now there are so many like this, avatars.
Incarnation.
They have no belief in God and they want to be guru. And after some days they fall down.
আপনি বলেছিলেন না মহামারীর মতো প্লেগের মতো এখন অবতার ছড়াচ্ছে
Like the germ of plague. You know plague? Now there are so many gods in India also, here also. So don't be like that. Try to be pure devotee. And this will help. No duplicity should be there. We see that, from birth they are duplicitous. They should not. Very simple. Very simple. And always honoring devotee. This will help. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to prove all these things so that our bhakti should be pure. Completed?
Yes, Jivahimsa.
Jivahimsa.
Jivahimsa. Jivahimsa means violence. What violence? Not only by killing by hands or anything. By tongue, by mind, by heart. We should not be like this envy. You should take envy from our hearts if you want to be pure devotee. Don't criticize any Vaishnava. This is also himsa. By tongue, by words, by heart, if you want. So you should try to follow all these things. Have not love, greed for worldly things. If I saw anything, I must have these things. My Padoshi, relatives and neighbors have very good cars, but I would not. We should not think like. Be simple, like Raghunath Das Goswami. Bhalo na khaibe ar bhalo na pariya mani mano dhai sada Krishna naam. Bhalo na khaibe. Don't take delicious foods. Only prasadam, remnants, very simple. Otherwise, your tongue and stomach will be ruined. You cannot control your lust and other things. Bhalo na paribe. Not good dressing, royal dresses. Don't try to follow. You should follow Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami and others. We should try to be like this. It will help. So first you should clear all these things and then your heart be pure. Then Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra can come. Next day, Jagannath festival was done. Car festival. You should know that who is Jagannath, who is Baldev Prabhu, and who is Subhadra. I told the story, you remember all? First, Indraduma. You can. You should know the first easiest story written in Purans, how Jagannath, Baldeva and Subhadra. They were first in Neel Madhav shape, only one, but after some time they appeared like Jagannath, Baldeva, Subhadra. Then I will tell other regions and about Kaur festival.
Once upon a time, in the kingdom called Avanti, there used to live a king. His name was King Indradumna. He was very pious and religious and very devoted. He had a desire that he wanted to.
Marriage was done. Oh, priest, very high class of devotee he was. He gave the hands of that lady, girl, Lalita named, in the hands of his husband, that Vidyapati Basu, Vidyapatu. And he told, oh, you are seeing, here is fire, and so many devotees. And he brought a deity of any deity, and told, you will have to promise that I will maintain whole life this girl. And to girl he told, you will have to promise that whole life this will only be my husband, and I will serve. I will help in devotion. Both. If you are not keeping these words, these promises, and in the meantime you will give up your husband, then you will be culprit and offensive, and you will have to go to hell. And Jam Maharaj's messengers will come in to take away. And for husband he told that you should keep always in this mind. If you will divorce your wife, then you will be culprit. And you should never be excused. And then you will have to go to hell. Because sun is here, witness. Chandra is witness. Air is witness. Fire is witness. And deities are also witness. If you are falling being a devotee, well, and not, then you are guilty. And if you realize, oh, this world is false, like these relations are false. Only Krishna is my beloved, like Raghunath Das Goswami. Then he will be quite absorbed in service of Krishna. He will forget everything, these worldly relations, and he then may be like renounced order. If not by danda, but even he is renounced order. He is not guilty if he has given up for the service of Krishna. So we should try to know all these things. If you are not following, then only chanting will not do. Only remembering will not do. You should try to follow Anya Abhilashita Sunnam Gyan Karmat. And what I have told. You should be like this. Like Indian culture, Vedic culture. You should be like that. Those who have changed Mohan, but now from beginning, now you should be like that. Don't be lusty. If there is lust, then he should be given up. These kinds of society, association. Mahaprabhu has told, reminded so many times, Istri Shangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Bhakta. Those who are Mayavadi, Advait Mayavadi, and those who are having lust, changing all these things, always in bad issue, having so much lust. Oh, they cannot be devoted. They should remain this thing. They can be married with process for whole life. And then they could. After that, what became? Then come to Jagannath Baldev Subhadra.
After their marriage, the husband of his daughter, whose name was Lalita Sundari, he observed that his father-in-law, he goes out during the night time and he returns during the midday next day.
in the afternoon. And when he comes, so much nice fragrance comes out of his body. And he looks so blissful and beautiful. And the effect is so mystical, but it is so affecting to the heart and pleasing that he is fully attracted to see when he comes. So Vidyapati was amazed that why is that and how is it that? So he inquired from his wife that where your father go and what does he do that when he comes, so much nice fragrance and aroma is coming from his body. Lalita Sundari told to her husband that, oh dear husband, of course, my father has told me not to speak about this to anyone because this is very confidential subject matter. But because you are my husband, so I cannot conceal anything from you. So I must tell you that my father, he goes to worship Shri Shri Neela Madhav, who is very nearby on a hilltop. And he does that, and when he comes, so because he has offered so nice, intimate, devotional worship to the Lord, his body is also having the aroma of that wonderful deity. Now Vidyapati, when he heard these words of his wife, that his own father-in-law goes to worship Shri Shri Neela Madhav, and he has been on the mission to search Neela Madhav, he was very much delighted. He felt that as if his mission has been accomplished. Now he insisted that if she can make arrangement that her father can take Vidyapati to that deity. Now, when Vishwavasishavar, after worshipping Shri Shri Neela Madhav, he came to his house, then Lalita Sundari, his daughter, very nicely and in an affectionate manner, she went and sat down in the lap of her father, and then caressing his cheek and chin, she was saying, oh dear father, can you give me one boon? Can you give me one benediction? And father lovingly said, of course, my everything is for you. My whole life is meant for you. I shall fulfill all your desires and I shall make you happy as you want. And she again insisted, no father, but this time I'm asking something very, 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 very difficult to give. Can you give me? And then when Vishwavasishavar assured again and again that yes, I shall fulfill what you want, then she spoke that please take my husband to take the darshans of Shri Neela Madhav. And when Vishwavasishavar heard these words, he became silent and grave. How could that be possible? He had never taken anyone. No one knows in this world that how confidentially in a secret manner Vishwavasishavar is worshipping the deity of Shri Neela Madhav. But then the girl said, if you will not take my husband, then there is no point in my life to live. If I cannot satisfy and serve my husband, then I shall die. So if you will not take my husband, I will go and I will die, or I will take poison, because there is no meaning to my life. Hearing these words from his daughter Vishwavasishavar, his heart melted and he could not control his sentiments, and he said, yes, okay, I will take him, but there is one condition, and the condition is that I'll put blindfold on his eyes, and when I take him to the place, then I'll open his eyes, he can take darshans, and on the way back I'll again put blindfold on his eyes so that he doesn't know the way. So she agreed, and happily she came to her husband and informed her about the whole conversation with her father. And when the day came that Vishwavasishavar was ready to take that boy, his son-in-law, to Shri Neela Madhav Darshan, then she, in a very nice, intelligent manner, because she was very clever, she gave him some mustard seeds in a small bag. And he kept that bag in his pocket, and as they were going through the zigzag way over to the top of hill to take darshans of Shri Neela Madhav, Vidyapati was dropping one seed, one after another, on the whole track, following up to the point when they reached Shri Neela Madhav. Upon reaching in the temple, the Shavar, he took off the blindfold from the eyes of Vidyapati, and Vidyapati took the beautiful darshans of Shri Neela Madhav. He immediately fell flat on the floor, paying his obeisances, and Vishwavasishavar told him that you wait here for a few minutes, I will go and I will collect the paraphernalia for worship, flowers, fruits from the nearby forest, and then after worshipping we will go back to our home. Saying these words, Vishwavasu, he left to collect the paraphernalia for worshipping, and Vidyapati was sitting in the temple and he was observing the surroundings. And then he noticed that outside the temple there was a pond, and this pond was filled with very fresh and fragrant water. And on one side of the pond there was a tree, and a branch of the tree was leaning over the water, and a crow was sitting on the branch of the tree. Somehow the crow, he fell asleep or slept, and he fell into the pond, and he fell and he died at once. But a wonderful, amazing, astonishing thing happened. And what was that? That the same crow who fell in the water and died, he came out as a four-handed form of Vishnu. And immediately Garuda came down from the Vaikuntha planets, and he took him on the plane, and they went back to Vaikuntha planets.
He was liberated.
He was liberated just by touching the sacred water of that pond. Vidyapati, when he saw this wonderful scene, he could not control himself, and he immediately ran towards the tree and tried to go onto the branch and jump in the pond so that he can also quickly go to Vaikuntha. Because why to wait? This is so easy. And as he made that attempt and he went onto the branch to jump off, he heard an aerial sound, and he heard, "Oh, Brahman, you should not do this. You should not give up your life, because there is a very special purpose that you have to fulfill. You are here on a mission. You have taken my darshans and you know about this wonderful thing. You should go and describe the whole information to King Indradumna. And then afterwards we will see that you will get my mercy." Hearing the words, Vidyapati, he came down and he again went to the temple room. And after a while, Vishwavasa Shabur returned to the temple, and they both worshipped the Lord, and then they returned to the home.
No.
But before this, while he was worshipping the deity Sri Nilamadhav, Sri Nilamadhav spoke to Vishwavasa Shabur that, "Oh, dear Shabur, you have been serving me from so many years, and I am very pleased by your service. But now I am desiring a royal service from King Indradumna, and this Vidyapati has been sent by him to search for me. So now you please make arrangement that I can go to him." Vishwavasa Shabur, when he heard these words, then he could not bear the forthcoming separation from his beautiful and loving deity. He has been serving Sri Nilamadhav for so many years. How he could let Sri Nilamadhav go away just like this? So what he did, when he returned back to home, he captured and imprisoned this Vidyapati, so that if he will not leave the house, then king will not know, and then no problem, he can go on worshipping Sri Nilamadhav. But then again, his own daughter insisted again and again to release and let her husband go. Then Vishwavasu agreed, and then Vidyapati, after getting released from the imprisonment of Vishwavasu Shabur, he came back to his kingdom and reported the whole matter to his king Indradumna.
Especially that pond, that
Incident at the pond.
of crow.
Hearing all this information, the whole description, what has happened and how he has reached there, and so many wonderful things he saw there, King Indradumna, he became so eager immediately to go and quickly bring the Lord in his kingdom. He ordered all his army, he ordered all the ministers and everyone, all the relatives, to get ready, and next day they made a time that they will march towards Sri Nilamadhav, and with all due honor they will bring the deity to his kingdom. Now, following Vidyapati, because Vidyapati knows the directions, they reached that place, that village of the Shabur, where Vidyapati had previously come. But they saw, when they reached the hilltop of Sri Nilamadhav, that the whole hilltop was covered with the sand from ocean. And there was no sign of temple, there was no sign of Sri Nilamadhav deity. Now king became so disappointed and disheartened that, "Oh, I made all this endeavor, I got the information, I came here, but the Lord does not want to give me darshan. I'm so wretched, I'm not so qualified, I have no qualification to serve him. So what is the point of my living?" So he sat down on a hunger strike that he will give his life up by not eating, by not drinking water. And as the king sat down, after a few days, he heard again the aerial sound telling him that, "O king, do not worry. I am very happy that you want to serve me, but I shall come to you in the form of a trunk of a tree flowing in the ocean. And he told him that you will find this log of tree on Bankim Mohana, a place near Chakratirth. And this log will be marked by 4 signs: the conch shell, the disc, the club, the lotus flower. And then after duly worshipping the log, he can make 4 deities out of that log: Shri Jagannatha, Shri Baladev, Shri Subhadra Devi, and Sudarshan Chakra. And then he can worship them. And
Then it will be the fruit of serving Nil Madhav. Same Nil Madhav in 4 forms.
And he can make a very huge, beautiful temple for the deities and give them royal worship, royal service. Hearing this, the king was again very happy to hear the sound, the words of Shri Nila Madhav, and with great enthusiasm, he came upon that spot where he was given the directions. And with all his army and everyone, they were waiting that the log will be coming. And after a few days, they saw a very big log was flowing towards that side. And as it came nearby, the king ordered his army, his soldiers, very big elephants, to go and get and bring that log in a very nice, respective, in a careful manner, so that they can do the needful and follow the rest of the instructions, what they heard in the aerial sound. As the servants of the king, they approached the log and they tried to take him out of the water. They could not do anything. It was so heavy. They tried with so many elephants, but yet they could not move it in even an inch. Again, the king was disheartened, and he was thinking what to do. And again, the aerial sound came, and the voice said that, "O king, now you should go and you should bring that shower, the king of the showers, Vishwavasu, your father-in-law, and you should also bring Vidyapati, your priest. They should both come and they should both touch each side, and then I'll automatically come towards the shore. And then also you should arrange a very nice chariot on which I'll be placed." So king followed the instructions, and then Vidyapati and Vishwavasu, they entered the water, and after worshipping, paying obeisances, they invited the log to come out of water. And just by their touch, very easily, the log came out of water. And then, after bringing him on the chariot, they brought him to a place where they will make 4 deities out of that log. The king, he made the announcement all over his kingdom that all the expert carpenters who can make very beautiful deity with very nice eyes and good shape, they should come and they should make deities out of this log. So many came, so many carpenters who were so expert and also have been doing this job for so many years. They came to the king, and king said, "Okay, you should try." Now all of them, after duly worshipping their instruments and tools, they came, and when they tried to carve deities out of that log, none of their tools could do anything. In fact, their tools broke when they touched the log. Now the king was thinking what to do again. I'm not able to do anything. And as he was worrying, one old Brahmin approached him. And this Brahmin requested the king that, "O king, if you allow me, then I can do this service for you. In 21 days, I can make beautiful 4 deities from this log. But I have one condition. And the condition is that you will not open the door for 21 days. And I'll be inside and I will lock it from inside. For 21 days, nobody should disturb, nobody should open. If you open, then I will leave the work there only." The king agreed to the condition, and the Brahmin entered in a hall which was made for this purpose, and he locked him inside, and the work went on for 1, 2nd, 3rd day like this. At the 14th day, the queen told the king that it's been 14 days, this old Brahmin has been inside, and we are not hearing any sounds of carving the deity also. What has happened? And he haven't asked even for a glass of water, no eating, no food stuff. Maybe he has died. So as they were thinking, the ministers who were very intelligent and wise, they told the king that you should wait for that Brahmin, because that Brahmin was not ordinary. That Brahmin named Maharana, he was not ordinary Brahmin. because we tried so many carpenters, they could not do anything, but he is doing. That means he is very special person. We must listen to his advice and we should wait for 21 days. But when the queen insisted, the king could not control himself and he ordered the door to be broken. Then on the orders of the king, the door was broken, and then when king entered, he saw there were 3 main deities and Sudarshan Chakra, but these deities were not in a complete form. The hands were not completed, the lower part was not completed, and eyes were big, were not given the proper shape, and that Brahman was not there anymore. They searched all around, but they could not find that old Brahman. Then the minister told the king that I told you this Brahman was no one else but Jagannath Dev himself. He came there and he was doing this service and you interrupted. Now king was feeling again very disheartened and offensive. He thought, I made an offense to the deity. Now what shall I do? Now there is no hope for me. I shall give up my life. And again he made an attempt to commit suicide by not eating anything. But again the ideal sound came and Jagannath Dev spoke to him that, O King Indradumna, you should not be worried because there is one special purpose. It's my desire to manifest myself in this special form. So now you shall make a very huge, beautiful temple and you should install these deities there and you should offer royal service to these deities because this is my desire to manifest myself in this form of Sri Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra and Sudarshan Chakra.
Boons.
Now the king, as he did all this service on the orders of Sri Jagannath Dev, Sri Jagannath Dev very mercifully, he asked the king, because he was very pleased from the service of king, he told the king to ask for benediction. And the king said, no, I am very happy to serve you. I don't want any benediction. But Jagannath Dev said that you must take, because my darshans are never go in vain. You have done so much service, so I shall fulfill your desire. Then first the king said that I want that you should eat so much in the day that your hands should not become dry. That you should eat and you should wash your hands. You should eat and then you should wash your hands. And your darshans, whole day you should keep eating, and your darshans should only be closed for 4 hours, not more than that. And all rest of the time, everyone should take your darshans. You should mercifully give chance to everyone to take darshans and service all the time. And Jagannath Dev became very happy and he said, so shall it be. But you should ask something for yourself. I want to give you something. And then King Indradumna said, okay, if you really want to give me something, then give me the boon that I should not have any progeny. No more generations. I don't want any children. And Jagannath Dev smiled and he said, why you want that? And Indradumna said that, King Indradumna said, because when my children will grow up, then what they will do? They will claim the proprietorship of this temple. They will say, oh, we are the owners, and they will take all the pranami and all the donations, and they will try to control you. So I don't want. No children, then no problem. And you should yourself make arrangement for your service, that who you want to take service from. And Jagannath Dev, he was very happy and he said, so shall it be. And he told that now you should, this Vidyapati priest, he had been married twice. He is a Brahmin. When he was in the kingdom of his king Indradumna, he was married to a Brahmini wife. And second marriage was given to the daughter of Vishwavasu Shabar, who was Shabari. So he said, from these two wives, the sons or the descendants of the Brahmini wife, they should do my worship, and the Shabars, they should go and arrange my cooking all the time. And the descendants of the Vishwavasu Shabar, they will be serving me for 15 days during this Rath Yatra festival.
10 days.
10 days. 10. Thank you. So, this is first history for that Nil Madhav, he infested him in 4. And every year on the very date he manifested himself. That should be court festival for him. So each year lakhs and lakhs devotees assemble there for court festival. But there was other so reasons that Krishna himself manifested like Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. We will tell all these very beautiful stories, histories tomorrow. And so many things. Tomorrow is also
Hira Panchami.
Hira Panchami. Very good function. And so many good Siddhant there. A dialogue between Srivas Pandit and Sarup Damodar. And also a dialogue from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarup Damodar. Very, very high class of Siddhant. We will discuss all these things in these 4 or 5 days. Very, very good instruction. If you will hear all these classes with very honor, I think your heart will be cleared. And you will have pure devotion to Radha and Krishna. And then you can be happy forever. Even your transcendental constitutional form will come and thus quickly advance. So try to hear it very carefully and with honor and with
Recently,
presently and very strong faith. Go Brahman.